guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faye. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out today's video. I really hope that you enjoy. If you do, please be sure to let me know by giving it a big thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe to my channel down below and turn on your notifications so that you won't miss out on any of my future videos. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a review on the new Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Wear Foundation. I picked mine up in the shade 334 Warm Sun, and I mentioned this to you guys in my recent drugstore haul, which I uploaded a couple of videos back. If you haven't checked that out, definitely be sure to check it out after you're finished watching this video. But a lot of you guys mentioned in that video that you would like to see a review on this foundation. I also posted a poll on my Twitter and asked you guys what you guys would like to see, and a lot of you also posted on there or voted on there that you would like to see a review on this foundation. So this video is for you guys that requested it. So I did pick my foundation up from Ulta, and it does retail for $11.99 at Ulta. I ordered it online, so when I initially ordered it, I actually got a shade that was too dark, and then when I picked it up the second time, I actually got it from Walmart, and I believe at Walmart it was around like $9 or $10. It's normally slightly cheaper at Walmart than it is at Ulta, but you're probably going to find it anywhere between about $8 and $11-ish. So I did pick mine up in the shade 334 Warm Sun, which I can't remember if I mentioned that or not, but if not, yes, I did pick mine up in the shade Warm Sun. The foundation does come in 16 different shades, which, considering the wide range of shades that the Fit Me foundation has, I honestly was hoping for a greater shade range. But I know that this is a newer product, so what I'm hoping is that over time, as was with the Fit Me foundation, they will slowly start to add more shades to the line. But this one is matching me okay for the most part for now, but I definitely hope that they will continue to expand their shade range to include more shades. But as of right now, they do have 16 shades available on the Ulta website. And I did want to quickly just mention to you guys a couple of the benefits or claims that they are saying that this foundation is supposed to have. So first and foremost, it does say that the foundation is oil-free. It also says that it does not clog pores, is dermatologist tested, a full coverage foundation with a seamless finish. It evens out, camouflages, and enhances, minimizes the appearance of flaws and imperfections, and glides onto the skin for smooth and breathable wear. So I of course am wearing the foundation on my face right now, and I don't want to get too much into my thoughts and opinions about it until I actually show you guys the demo. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the demo so that you guys can see how this foundation applies to the skin. Alright guys, so as you can see, I already have my eyes done. I am in the midst of filming a full face of drugstore first impressions, so if that video is not up yet, stay tuned. If it is, I will link it for you guys either at the end of this video or in one of those cards at the top of the screen. But I am super excited to apply this foundation with you guys on camera and show you guys how it applies. I did go ahead and prep my face with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water per usual. If you guys follow my channel, you guys know I always start with this. And I'm going to actually try out a new primer today. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Matte Lock Mattifying Primer. I purchased this a while back when it first came out, and I haven't really used it too much. So I figured I would kind of throw this in along with the review of the foundation. It is a little bit runny, but this is what it looks like. Kind of like a lotiony consistency. But just going to apply that to my face and rub it in. I'll be honest, that doesn't really feel like a typical mattifying primer. It feels pretty like a moisturizer, like kind of lotiony, honestly. I mean, it feels good on the skin, but it just doesn't feel like a typical mattifying primer, but we shall see how it goes. And then I'm also going to smooth out my pores with the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. This is one of my favorite smoothing primers from the drugstore. So I'm just going to apply that to the areas where I have large pores and blend it in. Okay, so all my primers are on, and I am going to apply this foundation in the same way that I would typically apply any other foundation. I did recently upload a video showing you guys a more detailed step-by-step of exactly how I do this, but I do apply powder before my foundation. I have really oily skin, and I find that that technique really helps to control my oils throughout the day. So since that is my typical kind of face routine, I'm going to go ahead and do it with this foundation as well, because since that's how I typically do my face, I want to see how this foundation wears with that same process. So I'm going to be using the Cover FX matte setting powder and just pressing that all over the skin. And I will also try to link, or remember at least to link, the powder before foundation video that I filmed for you guys down below so that you can check it out if you're interested in seeing my full step-by-step technique. So although I would typically do a little bit of color correcting on this area of my face, I did go ahead and skip that step because I do want to show you guys the coverage of the foundation on its own. So this is what it looks like, and I did pick mine up in the shade 334 Warm Sun. So I'm just going to, oh, and it has a pump, by the way. So 2 thumbs up for a pump. I love foundations that have a pump. And don't be like me, I did not realize that this had a pump. I thought it was like a twist off cap. So when I opened it, I was trying to like twist it off and legit almost broke it. I think I may have kind of low-key broke it, but it still works, it still pumps, so it's all good. So I like to pump my foundation on a little concealer brush and apply it to my face before I actually blend it out. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm just going to pump it, I don't know if you guys can see, directly on this brush. And it is a pretty thick consistency. Let's go ahead and just apply it. Now I will go ahead and say right off the bat that it is pretty warm, as you guys can see. But after concealer and powder and everything, I'm sure we'll be able to make it work. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Sigma flat kabuki brush. This is my F80 brush. Sorry, it's a little bit dirty, but I'm going to use this to blend it out. And the way that I typically like to blend out my foundations is I kind of just do like a patting motion, which I find helps to give me more coverage. And then once I've kind of gotten the majority of the product blended out, then I'll kind of start to do more of like a swiping motion. But just with that one side done, you can see already the coverage is bomb. Like in comparison to this side, which I know I have some stripes over here, but you can still kind of see like the spots and stuff that I have on my skin on this side in comparison to this side. The coverage is amazing. So this is what we're looking like after one layer of the foundation. The color, like I said, is a little bit warm for my taste. As you guys can see, well, you can see my neck at least. I'm much more of a neutral complexion, and this is very, very warm. But like I said, I think it's a pretty decent match in comparison to the other shades available for this foundation. So the coverage, like I already said, is amazing. And this is just with one layer of the foundation. So honestly, I don't really feel like I need another layer, but for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more on my cheek area, which is where I tend to have, like, I guess you could call that my problem area. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more just to show you guys how it layers. Okay, you guys, so this is what it looks like with a second layer just on the cheek area. It literally looks flawless in my opinion. It is very, very matte, and that may be partially because I did do the powder before I applied the foundation. So it does feel very, very matte on my skin, which I'm not mad at because I know that throughout the day my oils will naturally start to kind of come through. So I'm not mad at the matteness of it right now, but the finish is beautiful. It looks very skin-like and almost kind of radiant a little bit. Even though it's matte, I feel like I can just see like my skin, which is a plus. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back to show you guys the finished look all together. Alright, so of course you guys got a little bit of a sneak peek in the intro of the video, but this is what everything is looking like now that all of my other products are on my face. I did film this full look. I created this look using all drugstore products, and I did film a first impression for you guys, so I'm not sure which of the two of these videos will go up first, but if that video is already up, I will try to link it for you guys. And don't judge, because I will have on the same shirt in that video that I have on in this one. I was not feeling like getting up and finding another shirt, and this shirt goes well with this makeup look, so we're just dealing with it and moving on. So as I mentioned, this is what the foundation is looking like on the skin once I have all of my other products applied. And honestly, I am obsessed with the way that this looks on my skin. When I initially applied it, I did feel like it was a little bit warm for my complexion, because although I like to lean more on the warm side with my foundations, my actual undertone or complexion is a little bit more neutral than it is warm. But once I have all of my other products on, my concealer, my powders, and everything else, I feel like it matches me pretty well. I'll let you guys be the judge. Let me know down below. But just looking into my mirror and into the viewfinder, I feel like it matches my complexion pretty well once I have all of my other products applied. One thing I did notice with this foundation is that it is very full coverage, very, very full coverage. And if you do the powder before foundation technique like I do, it will give you a very, very, very matte finish. Now I did set my face with the Wet n Wild matte finish setting spray, and honestly, like my skin doesn't feel dry or anything like that. It just is very, I mean, my face feels like my skin, honestly. But it definitely felt very, very matte when I initially applied it before I went in and applied all of my other products. But I have to say, honestly, this foundation for my oily skin in comparison to the Fit Me foundation, as far as how it applies to the skin, how it looks on the skin, because I am a full coverage girl all day long. It's either no makeup or full coverage. There's no in between for me. This foundation is definitely like bomb. This foundation definitely is like high ranking on the list of my foundations as far as my favorites from the drugstore. Honestly, this may be the best, and I can't even believe that I'm about to say this right now, but the best foundation at the drugstore for oily skin. And you guys know how strong my love is for my L'Oreal Pro Matte foundation, but I think I might like this one more. I cannot even believe that these words are coming out of my mouth, because I have literally been obsessed with my L'Oreal foundation for pretty much since it came out. But yeah, I think this one might take the cake on as far as like my favorite foundation from the drugstore. Now, if you don't have oily skin, I think you could definitely still get away with wearing this foundation. It's not necessarily a matte foundation, it's just oil free, and it's matte on me because I applied the powder beforehand. But if you have dry, combo, or normal skin, of course you could skip the powder beforehand before applying this. You could even apply a dewy primer or like a really dewy moisturizer if you need a little bit of extra moisture. But I definitely think that this is a foundation that will work for tons of different skin types. But for me personally, since I do have oily skin, I did go ahead and go in with a couple of mattifying both primers as well as applying powder beforehand, just to make sure that my skin would stay matte, because that's just my typical, you know, technique that I do for my applying my face products. But if you do not have oily skin, like I said, you could completely skip that step, and I think that this foundation would still work really, really well for you. So my overall opinion on the foundation, I would have to give this one I almost want to give it a 10 out of 10, but I'm not going to speak too soon because I've only worn it a couple of times. I have worn this foundation prior to this review, which is why this is not a first impression. I have worn it, I think, 1 or 2 other times, and it did wear pretty nicely on my skin, but of course I am still testing it out, trying it with different primers, and trying to get a feel for my overall thoughts and opinions on the foundation before I speak too soon. But as of right now, it is definitely pretty high up on the list of favorite foundations, honestly, period, both high-end and drugstore, but definitely from the drugstore. So if you have been on the fence about picking up this foundation, or if you happen to run across it when you're in the drugstore, I would say pick it up. It's a drugstore product. It's super affordable. If you don't like it, you won't be really losing out too much. It's about $10, like I said. And honestly, I think that you will really like it. But of course, I always recommend that you guys try the product out for yourself and let me know what you think. If you have already tried out this product, definitely let me know down below in the comments what you think about it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I have to share about this foundation as far as my thoughts and opinions. Of course, you guys know that I will check in with you guys in the future as I continue to wear the foundation and try it out, and let you guys know my final thoughts if they change on this product as I continue to wear it. But like I said, as of right now, it is everything. So yeah, I think that's going to go ahead and bring us to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.